Now let's talk about last year, right? 2024, you sold personally 634,000. So Hall of Fame and then some, right? You got your red jacket.
Yeah.
Agency 1.3.
Yeah.
What do you know? What did you gross? What did you net last year?
So here's what I will say is that this past year, I got to buy my mom a house back home in Kentucky, which is just on the bucket list. I mean, she's been living apartment to apartment, and she had some crazy stipulations on like a 2-year minimum if she wanted to re-sign on the apartment. So
this is the first house she's owned?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And she just, man, she just sent me a video the other day of her mowing the lawn.
Yeah.
And she was just like so happy to have a lawn to mow. So cool. So bought my mom a house. You know, I had a goal of wanting to double my savings account last year. I got to 10x my savings account.
Yeah.
Right now I'm in the process of looking at buying a home in Nashville and then looking at buying an apartment in Columbia, actually, where my family is. So things have definitely
Not
been,
Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah,
Columbia, the country.
Yeah, Columbia, Bogota, Columbia. So things have definitely been on the up.
Got it.
And praise God, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm also just in the crevices and the depths of my finances, and have a strong financial team in my corner now to make sure I'm making the right decisions too. So
you didn't give me the number, but needless to say, it's more than six figures.
I mean, dude, I've tripled, quadrupled, my income. So it's definitely been it's been life-changing. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Now, when you were selling books, were there any expenses? Like, did you have to buy the books to sell, or?
So most of the expenses just in the summer were just gas.
Gas,
Yeah, just gas. I mean, you had to buy permits, weekly groceries.
But no inventory of...
No, nothing like that. Yeah, it was the biggest expense would have been gas, but even in the summer, since you want to take home and like as much money as you can, you're just living super frugal all summer long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it making that adjustment to buying leads? That's always not always, but a lot of times a stumbling block, a speed bump for a lot of new agents, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I'd come in, that year I went into this business with some money.
Okay.
So, as far as we have a lot of different alternative options for people that don't have the money to buy the leads right off the rip, that really kind of help, I guess, massage their way into the business to get to that point. But I was, willing to lose it all. Like I was at a point where I understood at this point in time that, investing in yourself, investing in the business is going to give you an amazing ROI. I understood that. And so I was just, watching, hundreds of hours of YouTube videos, connecting with people around Nashville, networking with people on Facebook, just like, dude, somebody just give me some guidance. And so, when I first started buying leads was dropping even $1,000 in a week was like, dang, like this is kind of crazy.
It's different.
Yeah. This is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But and now like I will again kind of just continue to have that same mentality of like, dude, I'll lose it all if it means to get to a point where I can have an ROI. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
How important is consistency in what you're doing?
Yeah. Habits. We preach habits.
Yeah.
That we are all creatures of habits. It takes 21 days to form a habit. And if you miss one of those days, you got to restart.
Right.
So consistency is so important when you want to do something great. If you want to do something temporarily, or if you want to, dip your toes into something, we don't need to talk about consistency.
Right.
But if you want to do something great with your life and great with your business, then consistency is so important. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I give to some of our new sales guys, or just new salespeople in general, is don't get discouraged early. Like I see some guys that'll come in their first week, their first month, their first 6 months that are like, it just didn't work out. Whereas like somebody that comes from a business or a sales background going into this, they understand, man, that there's a learning curve to anything that you're going to do.
Right.
Like the veteran salesperson, his emotions aren't going up and down week to week, no matter what the results are. as long as he is putting in the hours, putting in the calls, and keeping a good attitude, like he's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's weeks where I crush and they feel great. And it's like, I got to help out so many families. And there's other weeks where it doesn't seem that way.
Right.
But nothing changes about my schedule. Nothing changes about my attitude, and nothing changes about my work ethic, you know, because I never look at the days. Sometimes I don't even really look at the weeks. I look at the months. I look at the quarters.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, dude, you know, you're going to have up days and down days. You're going to have up weeks and down weeks. You're going to have up months and down months. You're going to have up quarters and down quarters. And guess what? You'll have up years and down years. Welcome to sales.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome to sales. It's going to happen.
And the big thing is, in any business you're in, life in general, is focus on the things you can control, right? You can't control who's on the other end of that phone.
Yeah.
But like Michael said, your schedule, you can control. You can control what days you're working, what days you're not.
Absolutely.
And I think that a lot of times we let distractions get in, right? Well,
yeah.
But my buddy's having a cookout on Saturday. Yeah, I know, but you're not at your sales goal yet. Like, what's more important right now? We're not saying you're never going to go to a cookout for the rest of your life.
For sure.
But right now, let's focus on these first few years. Let's sell out. Let's put in massive activity now so that in the future we can enjoy it.
Yeah, totally. And that, I think that goes back to, some people have just a different idea of what success means.
Right.
And I make it really plain and simple. Success to me is doing your best.
Okay.
Success is doing your best. And what is doing your best? Doing your best is controlling the controllables. Mm. What are the controllables? Your hours, your activity, and your attitude. Okay. And what does that allow you to do? That allows you to accept your circumstances.
Right.
And live with peace.
Yeah.
And accept that sometimes it will happen, sometimes it won't happen, but nothing's going to change the way that I'm able to operate as long as I'm doing my job day in and day out, plowing the field. Mm-hmm. It always works out. That's success. You know, there's times in life that you're going to get hit with some crazy stuff in life and circumstances that you never imagined.
Yep.
What does success look like then? Well, success looks like doing your best.
Right.
And your best is going to look different at different periods of life.
You talk about controlling the attitude and the veteran salesman being here.
Yeah.
It's a lot different where you were at before, where you're dealing with that much rejection, right? Yeah. When you were doing that, cold knocking, whatever you want to call it, how did you stay even keel when you went on a streak where, you knocked on 5 doors in a row and didn't sell anything? Like, how did you stay here?
Totally. Positive affirmations, self-talk.
Yeah.
Self-talk is what you say to yourself about yourself all day long. And that can be positive, but that can also be really negative.
Right.
Because the battle is between your 2 ears. It's in your mind. So positive affirmations are so important, in the culture of what we're building. When I was knocking doors, I would always say, okay, no means next. No means next. Mm. I'd say, what you're someday going to be, you are now becoming. What you're someday going to be, you are now becoming. Every answer lies behind the next door. These are all the things that Southwestern taught me when I was 18 and on. And I would say these things out loud to myself, because saying them out loud, it stops that thought pattern.
Right.
Just when you're thinking, I can't, I want to give up, it's like saying like, no, I can, I will, I must out loud. Like it really does help. Yep. I mean, it's everything. And I actually, just to go a little bit deeper with it, like a big part of why I decided to sell books was because I wanted to learn how to control my emotions. My parents, both of them actually, had a lot of anxiety. I mean, they're young parents. I mean, a lot of stuff going on when you're a young parent and a lot of stuff. But we kind of grew up in that, And I was like, man, I'm probably going to fall guilty of this if I don't work on that stuff now. And we truly become who we are between the ages of 18 and 22. And I thought, man, if I can learn how to control my emotions, if I can learn how to motivate myself, work through apathy, have like a process when crap hits the fan on how I'm going to respond to it, then I can do anything. Right. And so learning how to do that and work through those types of things whenever I was in college and those years, I mean, that probably saved my life in a couple of situations.